Hi everyone. I'm meeting today with Mayank Khera, who's the CEO of a company called Credgenics. Credgenics is a debt resolution platform. It functions, as far as I understand, in the digital lending space. And the big news recently is that they have raised, I believe, a $25 million CDA round. And that's something I'm going to discuss with Mayank. And yeah, like I'm hoping to try to understand, try to uncover what this company is, what they do, what in practical terms, and on a broader level, what kind of market this is and what kind of scope this is. So without further ado, I'll jump right in. Hi Mayank,
Hi Namit.
how are you doing?
Yeah,
Thank you for being here.
yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you for your kind words. And how are you?
I'm great. I'm splendid. Congratulations on the round that you have just raised. And I think this news has in the public domain just come out yesterday, but I'd love to know more if we can start there.
Right, right. Yeah. So yeah, we have recently raised a $25 million round led by Westbridge Capital and Tanglin Venture Partners, and there has been a participation from our existing investor Excel Partners, and few angels have also participated in this round.
Okay, and what has been the previous investment what have been the previous investment rounds? And if you can just trace back from maybe your origin story, I believe you guys started in 2018.
Right, right, right. We started in 2018 and with a vision to automate the legal processes. And it was a network of dispute resolution professionals that we started with. So there was no platform at that point of time. We started in 2018, and slowly, after taking the reviews from the market, from our clients at that point of time, we started building the technology platform. Now we have a full-fledged SaaS platform for automating whole of the collections workflow starting from the date of default, and it captures the life history of all the cases till settlement or till resolution. So, and to start with, we started with a dispute resolution professional network in 2018, late 2018. And in 2019, we raised our pre-seed round from Titan Capital, the fund which is run by Snapdeal founders, Mr. Kunal and Mr. Rohit. And after that, we started building the full-fledged SaaS platform. It has a lot of modules, and each module has its own specialty. So what our USP is, we try to automate all the collections as well as legal processes, or the modules which are involved for the purpose of collections that are used in day-to-day operations of lenders. So it includes sending of communications and communicating on regular basis with their customers, with their borrowers on regular basis. Apart from that, there is a cloud telephony solution. So there is no requirement of any physical hardware to interact with anyone. So pandemic has only accelerated the growth of technology or this module, as there is no requirement for any of the dispute resolution professionals or any parties to reach a particular place, or even for making any kind of calls. So even people who are making the calls do not need to reach anywhere. So it is, everything is on cloud.
I see. Perhaps if you could maybe give me an example of your target market and tell me how Credgenics fits in. You mentioned that you're automating legal processes and workflows around collection.
Right.
Maybe if you could explain through an example of what is the problem that the company is stuck in, and what was the pre-Credgenics situation, what Credgenics changes. I think that would be very helpful.
Got it. So earlier, what the problem that we used to see in almost in whole of the industry was, there was no sync between various teams that were involved in the collection processes. So starting from the date of default, there were separate collection teams, there were separate legal teams, there were separate strategy teams, there were separate mediation or litigation teams. So what we are trying to do is, we have synchronized the whole process, so there is a sync between all the teams. So now, as we have our own platform, so everyone has a visibility. So what is going on, what is the interaction the party has with their customer or with their borrower. So we are focused only in the BFSI space, and we are only into retail loans. So the average ticket size that we cater to varies between 10,000 and goes up to 20-25 lakhs. So that is our major market that we cater to. And in the processes, as I mentioned, there was no sync between the, or the limited sync between the teams, as a legal team used to perform the legal functions by sending the legal notices, by filing the cases before courts. So what different we are trying to do is, we are trying to understand the main crux of the problem that lies between the miscommunication or the confusion, or there is no streamlining of communications between the borrowers and the lenders. So we are providing a very comprehensive module wise platform, so all the communications are at the same place, so all the teams have access at the same place. Even the borrowers or the customers know what was the last call, or what was the last communication that was made, if he or she had asked for an extension of the time, whether it was granted or not. So it streamlines the process. So earlier there were a lot of matters that were going to the court for adjudication. Now we are trying to resolve all these disputes through mediation. So we have empaneled dispute resolution professionals who are impartial, fair, and independent in their approach, and they try to understand the challenges faced by both the parties.
These are neutrals you're talking about, no?
Right. I'm talking about neutral. So they try to understand the challenges faced by both the parties, be it lender or be it the borrower. So they try to understand what are the challenges faced by both the parties, and they try to come with a solution that would not be favorable to one of the parties. That would be somewhere in between, so as to accommodate both the parties, and it is all consent based. So and this process, or the mediation process, has basically or tremendously reduced the litigation or the collection, the field visits that were made by the financial institutions in order to physically visit the houses or the offices of their customers in order to know about the reason. So that process has become fully digital, and the appointment of a third party or a certified mediator or dispute resolution professional builds trust between both the parties.
So what I'll do is let me share my understanding, and maybe if you can correct me in case I there's something that I don't understand. Uh, the clients that you're serving are probably banks and NBFCs,
Right.
and what you're helping them do is that there are different teams which have been managing collections.
Right.
You're giving them a centralized place, a platform where all the data from defaulters, I think NPA accounts, they're able to see the different stages and what has happened on a single place. So that helps them make decisions quicker and
Faster and
move faster.
efficiently. Right. And even uh, this reduces the need of litigation. I mean, obviously there would always be some litigation, but it has tremendously reduced the litigation among the parties. So earlier, suppose they were filing 10 cases out of a portfolio of Y. Now that number is drastically reduced by 70 to 80%.
Hmm. And then if and when there is a dispute that escalates, I'm guessing the modules that you mentioned, one of the directions in which the platform probably goes is provides a service, which is kind of like a hybrid of marketplace, finding neutrals, and then also equipping them with processes,
Right. We
and
are
then helping the problem see the problem through the end.
Right. So we have a curated network of these neutrals who assist the parties in the in whole of the processes. So the purpose is to have a two-way communication platform where parties can resolve their disputes amicably, and the purpose is to have a, seamless flow of communications. So be it emails, be it SMS, and be it mediation, and if they have if they have sent some communication or some reminder, so that again would be available on the platform.
I see. And with banks like I'm guessing larger banks which have small claims, small loans, um, as well as the new companies in the digital lending space that have come in, those would also be your clients.
Right. We work with a lot of fintechs, new age fintechs, including Udan, Zest Money, uh, a lot
Simply
of other
Learn,
fintechs. Yeah, and apart
these
from
kinds.
we
Okay.
work, yeah, apart from new age fintechs, we work with a lot of NBFCs, including DMI Finance, IFL, and in the bank side, we work with HDFC, ICICI, Kotak Bank, Yes Bank, Axis, and we work with few ARCs also, that is asset reconstruction companies. So we have more than 60 clients in total as of now, which includes NBFCs, fintechs, B2B2C digital lenders, as well as asset reconstruction companies.
You've just communicated that you're a lawyer without really like expressly saying you're a lawyer. Um, like nobody really like when I'm speaking with people, say entrepreneurs or somebody from a technology background, in toto is very rare. Don't usually hear it. So that's you've just communicated that. Okay, so
Yeah, actually, I'm a law graduate.
yeah, yeah. I just remembered that you're probably coming from the legal side. So right, you mentioned earlier, Mayank, that there are a bunch of modules. What kind of modules are these? Are they how are they enhancing the core solution? The core solution, I'm guessing, is the platform itself,
Right.
right?
Yeah. So core solution is the platform itself. There are 5 modules, so I can explain you the modules in detail.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so there is one cloud telephony module where the teams of the financial institutions can directly get in touch with their customers for any of the communication that could happen offline, or it basically builds the trust, because it eliminates the uh, needs of physically visiting each and every customer in every case, because and there are consent based recordings also that can happen. So that feature is also available on the platform itself in the cloud telephony module, that they can take the consent from their customer, that if they want, they are willing to record this session. So this eliminates the need of visiting the customers in person. There are other modules. The second module that I mentioned, second and third module, is a combination of automation of communication. So all the financial institutions like to interact with their clients on regular basis. So there is a continuous flow of communications with their customers, and customers also like to interact. They want to call back if they have got some missed call. So we have integrations with so we offer all kinds of communications, be it through emails, SMS, or WhatsApp. So the parties can interact in a most seamless manner. And again, if it is in writing, again the records would be available. All the teams would have, the teams that work on loan wise or on the basis of loans, have access to it. And the customers also, the borrowers also have access to the communication that happened with them on the last time. So apart from these, suppose a case goes to the court. Again, there are litigation workflows. Suppose if they have filed some arbitration or check dishonor matter or some notice. So again, again are available on the platform.
I was saying in this aspect, you mentioned that there is automation of communication also. How does that happen?
Right. Suppose they want to trigger. Suppose financial institution want to trigger some communication on some specific day at specific time. For example, on Monday they want to send some specific communication or some specific offers, that this waiver is available only for these 3 days or for these 7 days. I'm just giving you an example. So that communication can be sent automatically by just defining the time on the platform.
You would have some sort of communications templatized,
Right. So,
and
so so parties can create their own templates, and they can generate their own communication. So there are various sample templates that are available, and there is option to create your own template. You can create your vernacular template also. So it is integrated with a translator also. So parties
understood.
can communicate in vernacular languages also.
So right, you mentioned there are 5 modules, and these are two of them: the cloud telephony and the
Yeah, so in litigation module, these are basically workflows where parties can see the progress of the cases. Suppose at what stage the case is pending, be it arbitration, be it check dishonor case, or a NCLT matter which is pending, and these are integrated with e-courts.
Mm-mm. If I'm a party, you're pulling all the cases that I have running for or against in all the courts. You're bringing them in the centralized
Right,
database or dashboard that you have there, and the
right, right.
parties are able to track all of them in a single place.
Right, right. So parties are able to track all the cases that are filed by them or that are filed against them, and they get reminders what case is listed in what court at what time. So they have access to all these things.
Okay, so that's a litigation management come case tracking tool.
Right, right, right. So we continue to build more features. So yeah, so physical notices can also be generated. Suppose they want to send some parties want to send some physical communication. So again, there are templates available. They can generate their own notice on the platform itself through automated templarized form, and they can send it by all modes, be it email, SMS, and they just need to download the copy and send it by India Post or by any of the couriers.
Are there any specific categories of debt that you look at and exclude the others?
Right. So we are not into corporate loans as of now. However, we are into all forms of debts, be it personal loan, consumer durables, credit cards, personal loans, vehicle loans. So it's just the corporate loans which exceed the size of 40-50 lakhs. So we are more into retail loans, and it includes all forms of loans, be it secured loan or unsecured loan. So platform has been built to handle voluminous data because these retail loans are in huge volumes. So the volumes run into hundreds or thousands of loans for each of the companies. So the platform has been built to handle all that chunk of data in a very seamless manner.
Right. How do you guys monetize? What's your revenue model?
Right, right, right. So there is a fixed small infrastructure or platform fee that we charge, and apart from that, it's basically transactional, usage based. So we basically charge a usage based fee. The number of communications, the number of notices, or the uh, volume that has been utilized.
I see. So for example, in cloud telephony, the the standard practice, one of the standard practices is per use, even if it's batched.
Right, right,
And so that takes care of that. And in litigation management or case tracking, the per use basically means per number of cases.
right, right. It includes number of cases also. It includes number of users also.
Understood.
Right.
Understood.
In the cloud telephony, it is basis the per minute usage as the telecom operators charge the same usage model.
Understood. And are you guys profitable already?
Yeah, we are already profitable.
Okay. Okay. And the market. So this market is a huge like market opportunity, right? That's what would be the most lucrative aspect for investors. Of course, apart from your business and your team, but there are few markets which investors are thinking simply it's not massive enough, it's not large enough. What's your view on the market?
Right. So total addressable market is huge. So it is close to $10 billion, and I'm talking about both the software as well as the dispute resolution part.
Hmm.
So it's more than $10 billion. So there is no shortage of loans or the processes that happen in the collection processes. So there are a lot of fintechs and companies that focus on the underwriting side. So this collection side was untouched as of now. So as we interacted with a lot of financial institutions, so we got to know that the real problem lies in collections of the loans, of the collection of the EMIs of loans that have been lent out to the customers. So a lot of research, a lot of analytics have already been utilized for the underwriting part, but there was very limited research, or there were very limited fintechs or companies that were into the collections part.
Pre-Credgenics,
Right.
before Credgenics, why would the financial institutions not develop it themselves? Like what have they been waiting for?
So earlier, pandemic has accelerated the digital processes. So earlier, how collections used to happen was, even today with large institutions, or there are separate teams for individual processes. So for collections, the standard process is to collect with large financial institutions, is to first make calls, then visit the customers to understand their problem, to understand the processes. Then they have their own internal strategies, what cases should go for legal action, what cases should not go for legal action, and what kind of action that should be taken.
Hmm.
So there was no sync between multiple teams or the different teams that a large financial institution had. So now we are trying to collate all the information in a single platform in a centralized manner, so that there is no confusion either between the teams or between the parties. So suppose what was happening was, suppose a borrower or a customer had said the same thing, that I have lost my job and I would be able to pay maybe by the end of next month. However, because he has already lost his job, so it won't be feasible for him to repay the amount in the existing month. So that part has already been communicated to him, but there was no information that was centrally available. So again, that case would go to second team, third team, fourth team, just because it was the amount that was to be repaid was not collected.
Understood. Okay, that leaves my question unanswered though. What is the difficulty in with banks developing these solutions themselves? Because because each bank, for example, HDFC and ICICI or Yes Bank, or like a digital lending company, new age fintech that you were referring to, they would all have their different policies with respect to collections, and that is going to have an impact on the workflows and the triggers. So currently, do you have to customize it, or can they customize it themselves? Is it a tedious process? And if customization is really, so yeah, two questions there. How does the customization happens, and why, like what have we waited for till Credgenics?
Right. So on the customization part, we have a standardized platform, and there are few tweaks or few logics or few UAT fixes that are required basis the requirements. So more or less, the platform remains the same, and we have made it very customizable. So the UI UX is quite easy to understand, very easy to use. So basis the requirements, basis the communications, basis their specific basis the specific learnings that we get on regular basis, we customize the requirements, and it is not as tedious as it may look. It takes some time to customize, but it can be done. So
But
it's just a single one-time process that
it's
happens.
done by the client though, right? Not by you guys.
No, they just assist us. We just take their inputs. We have a very comprehensive customized platform. So there are few tweaks that are required to be done from our in-house tech team. So we regularly
Yeah,
take input from them, and it's not a tedious process as it may look, but it takes some time initially, but it's a one-time process.
yeah, no, that makes sense because you're dealing with large institutions. The volume of clients is not going to be the game here, and it's the volume of cases, like one bank being large enough and bringing you thousands. Okay, and currently, what's the amount of debt, if I can ask, that's currently being managed on the platform?
Right. So we are managing debt of close to 2,000 crores as of now. And the platform is well equipped to handle at least 2 crore loans a month. These are the capabilities we have as of now. And we are looking forward to grow faster in the coming months.
How does that growth look like? What will you do to grow?
Yeah, so we are looking forward to strengthen the existing processes and increase the. We are looking forward to add more features on the platform basis the requirements. So once we are able to add more features, numbers will automatically increase.
Okay, and how are you planning to invest
Yeah,
the
so
funding?
most of the investment will be on research and development, and looking at exploring new geographies where our solution could be used as
Within
cordial.
India?
Yeah, within India or beyond India.
I see, beyond India.
Yeah. So we have got some inbound interest from some SEA markets, and we are exploring the feasibility to extend the product line to such geographies. So it is at exploration stage as of now, and our first focus is to expand our reach within India, and only then we'll focus beyond India.
How would that happen if you end up going to a Southeast Asian market? Would that be by a strategic partnership? Because I think you guys will be new in that territory. And any initial thoughts on how you might go
Right,
about
right. So
this?
as of now, we have got some inbound interests, and we are, as I mentioned, we are at exploratory stage only as of now. So maybe after some time, once we have sufficient reach within India, we can explore to go beyond India.
Okay, so you mentioned that's the direction where you're looking at expansion geographically and
Right.
R&D in terms of product development.
Product
And
development, product features, right.
right, and okay, so that's going to reflect your recruitment also moving forward.
Right, right, right. So we are aggressively hiring, and we are looking forward to hire at least 80 to 100 team members in the coming 3 to 4 months. And most positions are open basically in the technology team.
In the on the development side, I mean.
Right.
Okay, Mayank, let me just come back to the market. What's the competition in the sector? Who are your most immediate direct competitors?
So as of now, as we operate in a very niche segment, so as of now, we have not come across any direct competition. So, but again, the market is really huge. As of now, in my knowledge, I don't think we have come across any competition.
Okay, got it. Let's go to the future. With this funding, you're probably going to look at either geographical expansion or product development. Would there be a would there be a change in your own policy, like business strategy, with respect to the size of loans that you end up taking and whether going in other sectors like beyond banking and financial institutions?
Okay, so as of now, we are focused only in the BFSI space, and as you know, the space is really big. So there is quite some scope to expand within India,
Mhm.
and we have not even actually we don't even have a sales and marketing team at Credgenics. So most of the leads or most of the contacts that we get, it is through referral model or the inbound referrals that we get.
Okay, that's very interesting. But for in terms of your own, let's say, your own thought leadership or your narrative, would an in-house team not really an in-house team which is working very close with the development team or on the business side, would that not help? Like,
Uh,
I'm trying to understand why you have decided not to have a marketing team.
we have a very limited I mean there are just 2 3 folks in the marketing team, and they are basically assisting the customers and guiding the potential clients in the demo process only. So we are more into, yeah.
Hmm.
So in the BFSI space, it works on trust, it works on the technology that we are providing. So it's a very huge space to work at. So the team is usually engaged. There are 2 3 people, as I mentioned. So they are mostly engaged in giving the demos, in understanding the feature development part, to know more about their views that what all are the features that are required by the financial institutions on regular basis. So it is more of an exploratory and Q&A form that happens. So it's just knowing more of their views, that what are their pain points, understanding their pain points, building the product, and then sharing the product, and then giving the demo to them, that will it ease out their pain, or will it solve their problem. So so that's how we have built the product. It bases the views from the people from the financial institutions, that what have been their exact pain points. The purpose is to solve their exact pain point.
Got it. Okay, this is the last question, and customarily, this is what I ask every time. Let's look a little farther into the future, 5 to 10 years. Whether it's Credgenics vision or your vision for Credgenics, where are you seeing the ship going?
Yeah, so we are looking forward to grow aggressively in the next 5 to 10 years. So maybe we'll expand our reach geographically, demographically, as well as on the product side. Maybe we'll launch more products. So this is what we are thinking as of now.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, Thanks, Mayank. Thanks for doing the interview, and once again, congratulations for the funding. And yeah, I hope to keep in touch and like get a sense of what you guys are doing from time to time, and will help me also keep a pulse on this side of the market.
Thank you, Namit. Thank you so much.